Welcome back. Today we are talking about another highly allocated bottle. Midwinter's Night's Dram, Scene 11, Act, this one, I was hoping to get a 1, you couldn't do it, 12. Is it worth the MSRP? Is it worth the taste? Is it worth the hunting? Like I say before, stay tuned and find out. Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back to the channel. Like I said, today we're talking about Midwinter's Night's Dram, Act 11, Scene 12. It's been a few days. Luckily, thank you God, antibiotics and amoxicillin made this voice sound a heck of a lot better. I'm going to date myself again, but I sounded like Froggy from Our Gang / The Little Rascals. If you don't know who that is, kids, look it up on YouTube. You'll understand how deep my voice really got. So, joking aside, we're talking today about this one, and this was one that I got through my connections. Johnny's up, literally, I point like this because he is on this couple streets behind me, Johnny Max. Been a good friend for 23 years. We trade bottles, trade samples, and he said, hey, I got the new one in. You want to try it? Put it on your channel? I said, you know what, John? I'd love to do that. So got it, opened it up, had a little bit out of it, and when I did, I went, okay, It's not what I thought it would be, but maybe if it opens up a little bit, it might change. So it's been sitting out now for roughly about 25 minutes, like my usual. And you can see it's past the shoulder. I've had this for about a week because, of course, being on antibiotics, you really don't want to do any drinking, so I've limited it to none for 4 days. We know this is a blended straight rye whiskeys with a little bit of port barrel finish, French oak port barrel finish. The mash bill is an undisclosed proportion of 95% rye, 5% malted barley from MGP, and 80% rye and 20% malted rye. I'm guessing now from them. You know, it's 98.6 proof, and the age, unfortunately, like I said, is unstated. Got a little bit in the history. Let's get a little bit into the juice inside. Also, I'm going to put down in the comments below how you can make your own poor man's Midwinter's Night's Dram. Let's get into that first nose. See, right off the bat, I get sweet plum and brown sugar. I mean, it's been sitting, so she smells good. I mean, you can see it's clinging, but it's a little wispy, which is strange because I got into Midwinter's Night's Dram when 8 came out. I got an 8, I think it was Act 8, Scene 5, and 9 was 9, Scene 1, which is, I'll show you my poor man's bottle. Got a little bit of, it's like a weird, it's like, smells like orange juice, but orange juice you've had sitting out on the counter when you've had it, a glass and a half of the glass, and you go to take a drink, you get that kind of like, I've been sitting out a half an hour smell. That's what that smells like. And then you get a youthful note, a little bit of raisins and figs, a little bit of dry vanilla, but not much. This is, at this type of year, again, happy Thanksgiving. This is when I like to drink this from then until Christmas. This is my favorite drink to sip as I'm watching, because we have a tradition in our family to watch It's a Wonderful Life. 1 year, odd year, we watch the color. Even year, we watch the black and white because I have that on DVD. So that's when I like to sit back with this, the fireplace going, and watch that. All right, we got into the nose. Let's get into the first taste. Right off the rip, you get that fig note, really pronounced. A little bit of dark cherry. A little bit of, I call it like the dark fruits. You got a dark cherry, plum, raspberry, but it dissipates kind of there and gone, which is kind of a disappointment. You get a little bit of mint, but it's like on the back end. But again, there's no mouth coating. For MSRP now being $150, that's cost. Like we talked about, that price, I mean, just videos are popping up left and right with YouTubers talking about the same thing I've been saying. There's going to be a cutoff. There's going to be a line in the sand where people say enough is enough. I'm done. Is this being, I remember when I first bought my Act 8 from a place on the West Coast in Cali. And most people know it because a lot of the YouTubers ship through them when they do their picks. I really don't want to mention who it is because I'm very good friends with one of the people that is in that department, and she's an absolute doll, a great individual, and knows her whiskey. She's actually helped me, said, hey, here, I recommend these picks, and they've been outstanding. So cheers to you. You know who you are. The second taste is, again, it's drying. Get a little pear. Again, a little hint of dark chocolate. But you figure the years pass. Now, I know a lot of people said from 1 to 7. For me, 8 and 9 were a lot more dense and dark and fruit forward. This is that, you get that drying note has got to be from the port, because it's like a tannic, and it's just like a wine. That's what that reminds me of. Like when wine, you have a semi-dry red, it dries the palate up like that quick. And that's what that reminds me of, which is a massive, for me, it's a disappointment. So I would say try before you buy on this. 150 is a lot to drop, honestly, if you can find it, which is strange because they put out over 180,000 bottles. You figure this stuff would be in every mom and pop shop for MSRP, like the Booker's is that I got over there that I'm going to review. Total Wines would have this. Everywhere would have this. But no, Johnny only got 1 case. And the guy actually bought a barrel for a cask strength High West pick, and they gave him 1 case. So he only allocated it to those that he's known for a long time, like myself. Again, like I said, the hookup. Now, compared to this was my old 9 Scene 1 bottle for MIDWINTER'S DRAM. As you can tell by the caps, new cap, definitely old cap. This one, and I will put in the description below how you can make it yourself. It's Rendezvous rye, high rye, Tawny port, and ruby port. And I will put the exact proportions. So a 750 ml, get your calculators out. I know, kids, it's hard to do, math and numbers. But if you take the percentages, you can make your own. You can see here how ruby red that is. Same with this. Cost difference. The ingredients for this one will cost you about $120. Good news, you can make 2 bottles out of it, and you'll have enough port for 100 bottles because you're only using 1.5%. So you can get this for $150 and hunt till your heart's content, or you can find this one with the ingredients that are readily available at party stores and liquor stores and Total Wines and, ABCs and such, and make your own year round for $60 or $65. Again, I'm your host, Brian. This is the Average Whiskey Drinker channel. Again, I hope you get fat and happy today, and libations and turkey and sleep. Find a bottle, open a bottle, enjoy the bottle, because good whiskey is always meant to be shared. Again, for the 3rd time, happy Thanksgiving, and I will talk with you all soon. Thanks again.